Oh, okay, Zach, lead us in. I'm tired.
All right, dude, let's do it.
He's a bundle of energy. It's perfect
No, it's
anyway.
perfect. So I'm gonna try not to yell because my wife is asleep right now, just so you guys are aware, like while we're doing this. Oh. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Breakpoints episode 20, part 3, as we are joined by our very special guest today, Pablo Pintor. Yo, Pablo, thanks for being here, man.
No, it's my pleasure. It's a dream come true to be here with all of us, with all of
Let's
you.
go, man. See, that's what I'm talking about. We're setting the bar really high for how guests should act at the beginning of the podcast episode moving forward. Oh, that is so funny. That is so good. As always, I am joined by my hosts, Taylor and Sam, or Mr. Clean and the Doughboy, as you guys may have known them from past episodes. And I am your other host, Ninja, aka Agrablaze96. Oh, I thought Taylor was going to say something. Anyway, we'll keep on rolling. So I guess let's start it off the right way. If you have been watching for the past 22 episodes and you have not liked, followed, and subscribed yet, just click the buttons. Like, you come back 23 times. Just, like, follow, subscribe. All those things are free. They help us out. You might as well go out and do that. Let's talk about everybody's week and flesh and blood. Taylor, why don't you start us off, man?
Yeah, my weekend flesh has been pretty tame. Due to the BR on Monday, I haven't really put too much time into the meta. I've been just enjoying like an armory or here and there, and just playing some games on Talistar. How about you, Sam?
We took a little bit of a break, and I am feeling back and re-energized. There's only like 2 weeks of not playing much map, but that's all I really needed, and I'm back at it. Playing some new sauce, getting ready for the BNR, hoping that the mix-up is enough, but it's not like my hope for the BNR is that they don't like hurt the decks, but they bring decks up to the level, because I think that none of the decks right now are like too powerful. I feel like maybe you touch up some of the other guys, shake it up enough that bring some new players into the meta. But how about you, Zach? How you doing?
It's been a good week. I'm mostly waiting until I like hit the ground, testing for like, big events in 2026 as I think a lot of us are. But I've just been playing Victor. I'm working on the Verdance matchup. Apparently it is winnable if you bring like, 10 sideboard tech cards. Who knew? So we're
Yeah.
playing all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, no, I know. I mean, it's weird. It's like I might as well just be playing Jarl, or like it's crazy. But no, I've been having a good time, just kind of hanging out. Pablo, what about you, buddy?
I have been taking a break from Flesh and Blood since Calling Valencia, which was a week later after Worlds. That was a very fun tournament, very very cool. I am not used to being able to travel to tournament just by grabbing the car and being there in 2 hours. That was like an extremely good experience. But yeah. I have been playing so many different formats of Flesh and Blood. I had the pleasure of playing Living Legend in Worlds. I played Classic Constructed. I have also played the Silver Age on Valencia. So it feels like I lately have been playing like every kind of format there is to Flesh and Blood when I'm usually only a CC kind of player. So that's been fun, but maybe a little bit too much for me. So I'm taking a nice little break on Christmas. Let's see how it goes. I believe we will have a tournament on February, so may need to prepare for that one, but at least for some weeks now I will be playing other board games and things, and that's what I have been doing these weeks.
So,
Nice.
What other games have you been playing? I'm actually genuinely curious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so my group of friends actually don't play any Flesh and Blood, right? Like my town friends. So we are currently doing Arkham Horror campaign, the LCG.
Ooh, fun.
Very very good game. I highly recommend it to anyone. If you want like this kind of cooperative experience, pretty fun. And there's this new board game, the Mistborn board game. Do you guys know Mistborn
Oh, I've heard
from
of it. I haven't
Sanderson?
played it yet.
So there's
That
like
sounds
this
fun.
board game, and it's like a deck builder. Pretty cool. Kind of like a Dominion style of game. And yeah, like I have like this kind of place that I share with my friends, and we have like I don't know hundreds of board games in there that I don't ever get to play because I'm always playing cards. So when I'm taking the downtimes, it is good to go back there and review what has been happening on the board game scene this year.
I feel that.
Awesome.
I have a box of Gloomhaven down in my
Ooh.
basement that I've been wanting to bust out, but haven't gotten the time to
I mean,
set a
that's
campaign up.
that's a lot, man. I mean, that's a dedication of like months.
That's
Oh, yeah.
very, very long. Yes.
That's
Like the full, I sleeved everything. I broken tokened the box.
holy.
Like, yeah, it's ready to roll. I just I need to set aside time and play it, but
Yeah,
all
I
good.
played Frosthaven, and we got like a month in. And I was like, I can't do it, guys. I don't have enough commitment in me to continue. They're like, "Oh, I can't do it, guy. So
I love
much.
that D&D style stuff. I'm in it. The party stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, hold on. Side note, Zach, have you ever done a D&D campaign?
I've never played D&D. The Gloomhaven game, yeah, I know,
What?
right? It's crazy. You would think I would love it. And Carly and I have talked about doing it a couple of times with some of our, like, like local friends. I played Gloomhaven once, like, just to play the game. Like, I never, like, really, like, went into the rabbit hole of, like, you guys are talking about months and doing all this stuff. Like, we played it, like, once with some family members just for fun. But I feel like I would love D&D. I don't know, like, the idea of, like, doing that would be, like, a blast.
Ooh,
Alright.
we do like a Breakpoints Baldur's Gate run. Yeah, as like a little, like,
Well,
you know,
so
kind of
here's
like
the
filling
thing.
it
That
out.
would be great.
This is some sick lore, but I used to DM a lot. Like, I've run a couple multi-year
Oh,
campaigns.
wow.
So if you guys want to do, like, a one-shot sometime or something, or if you want to actually start a campaign, we can do
Dude,
that.
I'm in. I mean, especially with, like, I mean, you're not that close. Listen, I'm saying I won't drive 2.5 hours to Taylor's house, but I'll drive 4 hours to, like, Fairfax, to, like, get some D&D in. Let's look at Taylor's face.
I didn't even need to, because, like, I used
Cool.
to do it all on Roll20. I used a lot of, like, online maps. I used to, like, do a lot of the art for it and stuff, but we don't need to bore everyone with that for the next half hour. You just keep that on your mind for later.
How funny it would be if, like, we spent, like, 10 minutes on Flesh and Blood the entire episode. That would be hilarious. Like, we just talk about random board games.
Like slam through the questions. Just come on, Pablo, hurry up, come on.
It's my fault. I will take the blame for this one.
I mean, I do think it's really important, though, like, we've talked about this in past episodes. Like, this end of the year break has been really nice. Like, I feel like I've spent my entire year grinding. So it's like these 3 to 4 weeks of downtime have been really nice. Like, I feel very out of touch with Fab, if that makes any sense. And nothing's changed since Worlds. Like, it's the exact same meta. And I feel so out of touch with what's going on. It's kind of a weird feeling at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Flesh and Blood is kind of a lifestyle game, right? Where you need to pour all of your extra time into it, right? Not only like practicing and grinding, as you said, but you also need to be like, to keep informed, watch podcasts, or see the news, or talk with people, right? And it kind of eats all of your free time. So between that and the amount of time that I have been spending traveling this year, to be honest, I haven't seen my family that much, so, so maybe I can make it up a little bit for Christmas. So yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty nice.
It's actually
I actually like this kind of break for the winter season.
Yeah.
it's actually really funny you say that because my wife's always like, "Sweetheart, why can't we go to vacation?" I'm like, "We can go to vacation, but we should go to, like San Diego in February." She's like, "Why?" I was like, "I just think we
Want
should."
to go to
I just-
Japan in April? Like,
She's
I
like,
mean,
she's like, "Oh, well, how about we do something?" I was like, "Well, there's Memphis in March." She's like, "I don't want to go to Memphis in March." I was like, "Are you sure?" Vegas in July? She's like, "That's awful." I was like, "Yeah,
I
okay."
literally had that conversation yesterday with my wife. She was like, "Oh, we should go somewhere in the spring," and I was like, we haven't been to Montreal together yet."
I mean, that was mine and Carly's 3 vacations last year. We went to London in April, we went to Vegas in June, and we went to Singapore in July. Like, that's like kind of crazy how it takes over your life.
Yeah. Oh.
That was a good time. All right, so without any further sidetracking, we're already 10 minutes in. We can dive on back in. The most recent thing that's kind of happened in Fab is the dev talk. There's not been a ton of like tournaments and stuff, but they did drop their like hour-long episode on all the formats in Flesh and Blood. And Pablo, you were talking earlier about how you started to engage with all the formats this past month or so. How did you feel about LL at Worlds? Did you feel it was like a successful venture like they did?
From a competitive standpoint, I don't think so. I believe the format was very flawed. It had a lot of problems. I do think that the fact that people did not have enough time to actually prepare and go deep into the format helped us not notice the obvious flaws that it had, right? I believe once you got really into the format, it kind of uh, transformed into this draw 20 cards in 2 turns kind of game.
Yeah.
Have these kind of answers in your deck, right? It was either Gravy, Marlin, combo decks like Dasayo, right? All of the format, for me at least, it gravitated around Dasayo's combo deck, which is why I was not surprised when I saw it winning the whole thing. I believe it was the most broken deck in the format. I believe everyone should be highly prepared against it. And I don't think when we discovered the Ecstasis Cell thingy and how it did counter a lot of matchups, to be honest, I believe it kind of developed into one of the best decks, and only Starbo and some kind of very controlly decks could do something against it. So I believe Eternal formats are very good for the game. I believe they are an important part if you don't have a rotation. So your older cards do not lose relevance, and then we are allowed to play like powerful games of Flesh and Blood. I like that. I like the idea of Living Legend, but I don't think it was correctly implemented at this time. Maybe there should have been like a harsher restricted list for this tournament. Don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun playing games, and I did well on the calling, and I was playing Starbo, which, by the way, is always a good deck, because each time that they release a new set, Starbo is just better. But I do think that we could have benefit from a little bit more of a heavy hand from LSS on this matter. Maybe they could have restricted something else. And I'm sad, because I believe this kind of means Living Legend will take a while to recover from this kind of a fall that it took this time, and it may pass sometimes till we see it again on the competitive tables. And I like the format. I would like to play it if, I don't know, it's either don't restrict anything and see what happens, which I don't think it's that good, or restrict a lot. And maybe that's a way that they should address it. I don't know. I trust LSS. They will have put hundreds more of hours than any team out there. But yeah.
So I think you hit that, you articulated that in a very good way. That you said it'll take LL will take some time to recover. I think the player base, I think LSS, I think just for everybody, the format needs that time to recover, to try and not have that sour taste in your mouth, to make people think, you know what, let's give this format another shot. I think that was very well put.
Yeah, on our way back, we were talking about the format, and it's I think it was 2 or 3 bands away from being perfect. Honestly, it was really close, in my opinion. Maybe Scalata and maybe System Reset, and I thought that was oh, but that was just that was how I felt left. I actually really like Starvo in that format a lot. I thought he was one of the most fun. He was the perfect safety valve for all the degeneracy. But the issue with LL was if you drew one bad hand into Dio, you just die, and that was an issue I had. It's I'd watch Ed play games into our Dio, and he'd just be rolling them, and then he would just draw one hand where he has to throw Red Autumn's Touch with no disruption, and they just kill you, and you're just that's not fun.
Yeah, Star really felt like one of the only decks that had a good chance into the Dio deck, as long as you continue to roll and get that disruption moving. And as we got towards the tournament, you saw a lot of the decks had added a bunch of Amulet Echoes to the sideboard specifically for Dio, which is another reason why I didn't want to take it, because I thought everyone else was going to be on the same page. Dio's a crazy deck, it's weak to certain amounts of disruption. I wasn't super thrilled about taking it, but that and the amount of active game triggers you have to manage while you're playing the combo I feel like if you miss like just a couple, you probably lose. So
Yeah, that was another crazy part was like watching Josh learn how to play that deck is because he's only registered warrior at tournaments, and then he decided randomly he's gonna play the most complicated combo deck ever, and like watching him and Eugene like play out games was like insane.
It
Like-
kind of swings the weapon a lot, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Once you start going, yeah,
we talked about the experience of playing against the Dash.io deck, and we ended up calling it the Kojima cinematic, right? Where it is very long and you are not sure of what's happening anymore, and you're kind of sitting there and watching your opponent go through these like hundreds of motions, triggers, looking at picking at the top and everything, and you're like, you have to be there. And to be honest, you don't know if you're dead or if you're alive at that point, but you kind of need to be like very consciously watching what your opponent is doing, because they might trigger like put an extra resource or something, or an extra counter on the pistol, and that might end up being relevant. So it's, you have to sit there for like 30 minutes watching your opponent and watching every move, and it's like maybe it's not the best experience, to be honest. And I'm kind of glad that they were able to dodge that matchup on stream for most of the weekend, but they couldn't dodge it on finals. So
yeah, I felt a lot like watching Kano go off, but like in slow motion. Because Kano normally, like, even if you stack it, normally the turn's over in like 10 minutes, but the Dio turn normally did last like 20 to 30 minutes.
we were also very afraid of what would happen with the time rules that we have in Flesh and Blood, and I believe it did happen during one of the rounds, where you might be 45 minutes into the round, and one way or another you haven't been able to really combo off, and then the judge comes to your table and says, hey, you have this turn, you have till the end of this turn, and you're like, don't worry, 40 minutes later you can check on us, see where we are. I'm probably still on my turn, but yeah, I do think that it kind of have a problem with how the rules are written right now, and it did happen during one of the rounds, if I'm not mistaken, where a Dio mirror, they were both playing Stasis Cells and things, and like trying to deny the combo to each other, and when one of them did commit, they have almost no time left in the round, so we went like 30 minutes over over the time.
Wow, that's crazy to think about.
what a deck! What a deck!
That's all right. Hopefully, the next time it comes around, we have like what they're doing with Sage, and they have a bunch of events beforehand to kind of get a good touch on the format. They're doing it like Calling Seattle, which is, it's probably going to be, as of recording, tomorrow that we see the first big Sage event. Oh, no, is it Valencia, right? Yeah.
Well, big.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was in Valencia.
A lot more data points than like the 30-man battle hardened Houston for Leading Legend,
Yeah. We don't talk about that one.
People are a lot more bought in and getting to it. But with that being said, Sage is on the horizon. In its current state, they mentioned in the dev talk, it wasn't really something that they tested. It was all coming out in Compendium, and they were really excited. What have you been working with on Sage? Do you find the format interesting so far? Do you think it needs a lot of touching up?
I do think that the format is very interesting, and I have been dying to get a format that makes it easier for people to get into Flesh and Blood, because my god, is it difficult to try to sell the game to anyone. So these kind of like commoner-like formats are very good for this, I believe. It is fun, it has all of the heroes, I do like the kind of reduced power level, but as it is right now, I don't think it is very balanced. Right? I do think that the Rune Blades are extremely powerful, because they banned Fit for Sin and Sings Belows, because those were like very powerful cards, and then you have access to Reduce to Rune Chant and Seal of Suffering, which are like premium versions of those cards. So it kind of feels like they have more tools than most people right there, and to be honest, Runeblade hero abilities are often very, very powerful. I know this guy named Chain, which is pretty okay. It is a pretty okay deck. I do think that it will be a very good format. I really trust LSS on this one. I like how we can both play older heroes in not non-degenerate ways, right? Because if you play Oldhim on that format, it doesn't feel as oppressive as because the oppressive thing about Oldhim was always Crown of Seeds and not Oldhim by itself, right? But that's what I mean, like separating heroes from powerful staple cards that we have been playing in them for a very long time. It is good. It opens the door to a lot of new exploration. I'm a little bit afraid of 20 life formats with almost no equipment, because we, like, one of the games that I lost during Valencia, on turn 2 my opponent dealt like 22 damage to me, right? And you have no equipment, like they just hit a Briar hand where every card in hand was a 4 Gorgon or better.
Yeah.
And they ended up breaking the chest and 3 more, so the hand translated into like 23, 24 damage. So yeah, that might happen on the format. I believe it's not horrible, but I'm slightly afraid of the fact that maybe if they include more power cards into how the format itself functions, it might become more unbalanced. But I'm pretty sure they have figured this out, and seeing more bans, I believe, will be a very, very good idea. My 2 cents will be that Chain was never meant to like coexist with the Runegate cards, and the fact that you're playing Viscerai rune generating cards with being set Runegate attacks with your hero ability to get free go again and those attacks from the top, like it kind of very much does not fit together, and I believe there should be something should be done about Chain if the format itself doesn't like correct and deal with him. Other than that, I believe the format is very fun. Like the fact that I had a lot of fun playing Icelander, for example, which is like, how can I enjoy Icelander if I don't have like Waning Moon and all of the powerful stuff? Well, no, the deck is very fun. So yeah, looking forward to see what they do.
Yeah, that's like the first thing on the wish list is hopefully when we get bans in 2 days that they touch, Sage for Chain, and then when we get in Compendium, they like you said, they give out real equipment to everybody, because everyone running Blade Beckoner is like, it's like a good failsafe. It's a good fallback for everyone, like Iron Rot was back in the day. But now, it would be better if everyone had their own identity with armor rather than just, we're all wearing the same set of armor. Everyone went to the same closet in Wraith.
Yeah. Dropping it though, like we saw the pirate chess piece that pitches a blue from your graveyard, and I was like, that's pretty neat design space. So I think it's going to be good. And they keep mentioning how much equipment there is in this next set over and over. Every time I look at it, 50 pieces, 50 pieces. I'm like, okay, I believe you. Like, I'm excited.
Bring everybody up to the Aether Iron Wheel level, because that is just like so far and away more powerful than all the other chess pieces, really.
I mean, they said during like talking about like our first point where you mentioned the dev talk, Sam. During the dev talk, they made a comment. You're getting Silver Age before we tested it. Like, they said they only tested Silver Age with Compendium of Wraith out. And it's like, I don't know, like, I guess to all the people who are very upset or up in arms, it's like, I get it. You're playing in tournaments before, like, you have, like, what they wanted it to be. But it's like, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Like, we're just getting it early. We wouldn't have access to it otherwise. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm definitely not on all of the Taylor memes where it says, like, cope Pendium of Wraith and all that stuff he's sending in my Discord. Like I mean, it was hilarious, Taylor. It did make me laugh, but no, like I have very, very high hopes for Silver Age.
I do too. I started playing a lot more recently, and it's pretty good when you get to play Guardian. Dude, playing Guardian in Silver Age is honestly, when you don't get like rolled by Chain, it is a great time.
It's so weird to hear you say that, because I can count on one hand since I've started playing Flesh and Blood the amount of times I've been able to say about a constructed format where we could say, man, playing Guardian is just the best thing you can do. Like, it feels like that's never the best thing we can be doing, so that makes me very happy.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying Terra. It's been really fun.
Are there any events today you might play Terra at, Taylor?
Well, now that you mention it, I'll be playing in Iron Blaze 96's Talishar Silver Age.
Don't you love that I'm plugging the tournament on a recording that's not going to air until days after my event?
I was about to say, man,
no, I did it on purpose, 100%.
Crazy work.
I was like, yeah, there it is.
Somebody's gonna be in their car, listen, just be like, man, I want to join. Oh man. Like, oh, so
Well,
sorry.
The very last thing I want to mention about the dev talk is that they decided. The last thing I want to talk about is that we, in the dev talk, got told that Blitz is getting changed into a no bans singleton format, and I gotta say, I'm not super excited for that.
I'm so excited.
And I know that they're like kind of like taking it out of the competitive rotation. They're not really putting it in for events anymore. I'm not pumped that they unbanned Striders and Mopple, because that's kind of crazy in a 20 hill format. What do you guys think about that?
Yes.
They literally went with the whole meme. They're like, just like full chaos and have fun, and I'm kind of in for it, to be honest with you.
I am also in for it. I mean, they're like, clearly some things are better than others, but that's okay. That's every format we play in this game, and I'm pumped. I'm so excited. I'm ready. I'm so ready for like their like eternal weekend where we get to play this like crazy shitfest blitz format where it's just good luck, have fun, everybody go crazy.
Actually, would Singleton LL be better than it is now?
It's an interesting question. You get back all the power cards, so I think like for powerful equipment, everything is already kind of the same minus Crown Seats comes back.
It's just a thought.
It's an incredible buff to Starboy that already is playing Singleton, right? So it brings everyone else into his level.
So funny.
He's already playing so much bulk, so it's probably fine.
I think that might be kind of rough because with Starboy you have to have the split, and there's not that many good cards to split with.
You dig deep in the Earth tank when you had to.
Back to playing draft chaff.
Yes. Burgeoning, boys. That's what I'm talking about.
I'll reveal my yellow evergreen. You're like, yeah, you will, buddy. Yeah, you will. Oh. Yeah. Pablo, what's your thoughts on Singleton Blitz with no bans?
Not a
look at it.
Not a big fan of any Singleton format, to be honest. I have enjoyed those on other games, and they are usually like very high variance. But I think that maybe Blitz is getting relegated to like fun tournaments and stuff, so that's fine. If the format is very explosive, I would print broken cards and see how much randomness and strange fun we can have with it. So yeah, it might be a good like idea to keep the format not alive in a competitive sense, but alive in like the conscience of the player base, right? And maybe it's someday it can like they can touch upon it again.
Changing gears a little bit, we'll go into a little bit more specifically about your year, this very, very successful year, Pablo. It kind of kicked off with you joining the secret super team of Team Armory. How was that? Did you guys, you don't have to give away any like team secrets or anything, but what do you feel like you guys did different than everybody else? What was like special about this experience for you?
I don't think we did anything special or different. I will open saying that. I did have a lot of fun with them this year. I really wanted, like, I have been playing competitively card games all of my life, right? Most of them on non-high profile games, so it was kind of a nice change of pace when I got into Flesh and Blood. And one of the things I didn't ever get to experience was a testing house, and being finally offered the chance to do so was very fun. And to be honest, it went pretty well in London, so I couldn't complain. But shout out to Arthur, because I was testing games with Enigma. I was not going to play Enigma on London, and I was just playing as the other side, playing games with Enigma, and he was like, maybe you should play Enigma. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I should play Enigma after all. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I do think that there's a lot of talent in the Super Armory team, and getting to know those people personally, right? Not only on the card gaming sense, because yeah, I know that they're very good players, but are they very good persons too? turned out they were. So it was a very fun experience.
I thought this was about to get crazy for a second. I was like, yo, Pablo's just letting it all out.
No.
But what? No,
it was a wonderful experience. The only thing is that I'm getting a little bit older, even if I don't want to recognize it. And these kind of very long trips end up taking a toll on me and making me feel quite exhausted, to be honest. So during the first house, I believe we were there for like almost 3 weeks. Like 1 week for the house, 1 week for the tournament, and I was visiting London for a week with the Sunflowers after it, and it was like, okay, maybe this is a little bit too much for me. Maybe I'm not as young as I want to anymore. So yeah, but as an experience, I do think that I did learn a lot during those tournaments, no, during these gatherings. I don't think I would have won the London Pro Tour without them. Not only would have not played the Enigma, but I also like learned so much on the limited formats of the game. Like there are some minds in there. It's like you're sitting there, seeing them like process the whole table, the whole idea. Like we should pick this, we should do that, and you're like, yeah, they are better than me. They are better than me, and and you know, knowing this is humbling, and it is a good experience. I believe it is a good experience to have. So yeah, it was very fun. I'm probably not traveling as much next year though. I have been traveling way too much this year, to be honest. I won the Pro Tour, I got excited, and maybe I got a little bit carried. I need to be doing more stuff. So I'm probably not joining as many testing houses as I have been this year, but it has been a great experience. And to be honest, being able to say that I did it, it's something that I will always remember.
Awesome. I mean, can you expand a little bit on that? Like, you said you were not playing Enigma at all. Like, what were you going to play? What kind of convinced you to switch?
So, when I got into the house, I was pretty convinced I was going to play Nu.
Okay.
Then I had some days of not doing that well with Nu into Aurora. Right, so Aurora was kind of the boogeyman of the format.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, maybe Nu is not the answer, and that's when we started testing Sleepy as well. Sleepy was kind of under the radar for the tournament. Michael Hamilton ended up playing Sleepy and doing very well with him. And I was there like, yeah, maybe I should play a Sleepy, maybe I should play Nu, maybe I should play Aurora and just play the damn best deck for a single time in my life. I was like, yeah, what can I do this time around? And people were like, hey, can you play a game of Enigma against me? And I was like, yeah, of course. And I went ahead and did the most disgusting high roll thing possible. And then on the next game I would do it again. And then the next game I would do it again. And people were like, hey, maybe you should play Enigma. And I'm like, yeah. And I keep on high rolling people till the finals, right? So it's like, okay, that was a good choice. Each time I went into my table, I sat down and I was like, hey, how are you doing? Where are you from? What are you playing? And they were like, Florian. And I'm like, and that did happen sometimes during the weekend.
Amazing. That's awesome.
Oh, that's brutal. I love that. Oh. Yeah, because your finals in London was super iconic. It's like one of my favorite matches to watch.
And to be honest, I thought I was dead on the top 8 match. The top 8 match against Prism was the rough one. Everything that came after that was like, okay, we can play this. But yeah, there were some very good games. I was also very happy to be able to play finals with Max, which is a friend from the Spanish community. No longer from the Spanish community. He's German, but he was living in Spain. He's now living in Brazil. We miss him.
I mean, I think, I was in the hall that Sunday, and I watched the Command and Conquer come off the top of the deck. Like, don't get me wrong, like,
Yeah.
the whole conversation around that is like, you were in a very good position prior to the Command and Conquer, but the Command and Conquer off the top of the deck. I mean, I remember the event hall erupted. It went crazy. Everyone was
Yeah.
screaming, and I was like, yep, that's why he's the best right there. That's why he's the best.
So it's I believe it's not recorded, but we were joking or we were playing, right? We had the headphones
Yeah.
and everything, and I said to him, "This is a Command and Conquer." And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh." That's why I picked the card. If you see the video, I picked the card. I left it on, leave it on the table, and then I put it up. I'm like, "This is a Command and Conquer."
That makes that.
He's like, "No."
That makes that so much better to know that you called your shot. Oh, that's amazing. What a great story.
He was very, very lucky. I believe I was ahead, but as you know, you draw a bad hand and you can like the board switches around. But yeah, if you clear your opponent boards and get to keep your Mia guy and your auras and everything, yeah, maybe you're winning the game. So
Maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good here. Oh, yeah. So, I guess a little bit more on, like, being in the testing house with everybody. That's a lot of really good players, but I want to emphasize that's a lot of really good players. Did you ever feel like there was, too many cooks in the kitchen? Did everyone feel like they were able to, like, get a good contribution in? Everyone's opinion was, like, heard and you were, like, able to test with everybody? Or was it, like, maybe too many people?
one of my concerns going to this house was the fact that there might be some kind of, I don't know how to put this in words in English, sorry, but ego fighting, right? Where some people might think that they are better than people are giving them credit for, and some kind of internal like fighting over, I don't know, choices and everything.
Yeah.
And I was very pleasantly surprised to see that to be honest, I believe that the better a player is, the less that they are doing random shit and being full of themselves and cheating and things like that. I believe there's a very clear distinction on players doing those kind of things and players that do not. So yeah, I do think that we were not too many people. It was kinda nice to have different groups of people working on different decks. That was in London. For Singapore, we were all working on the Gravy deck list, and that was also a very cool experience, because getting like 10-12 people to work on a single Gravy deck list and obsess over the little detail, like now this blue is slightly better as a one-off than the other blue because of this matchup, and a 2-hour discussion about that. But to be honest, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think there weren't too many people for the team to properly function. But I believe that was due to the fact that there was no fighting. There was like no arguing. Like, yeah, we were discussing deck choices and so, but like no arguing in its worst sense.
Awesome.
I think it.
Yeah, I get the sense.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I think it's great that all of you guys at such a high level could come together and have those passionate discussions about this card or that card, and it never like turns into like this like senseless arguing. Because I feel like I've been a part of so many conversations where it's just like, one person's tone just shifts a little bit, and then the whole conversation just like spirals very quickly. And I've probably been guilty of that. Taylor likes to push my buttons when we talk about things, but I don't know, it's just cool to hear that, that you guys were so cooperative and that you guys were just working together that whole time. Like, even if it was from different deck perspectives, that's, I don't know, it's just awesome to hear.
It's also maybe due to the fact that there's like some kind of language barrier, right? I cannot be as mean in English as I am in Spanish, so we have the joke in the Spanish community that people don't really know who I am, and because I'm talking in English and I'm like super nice in English, but then
Spanish, bro. Oh.
but then we switch to Spanish, and it is not the same. So yeah, at least there was like. I was very happy when we got some shit talking going during games. I believe that's a very nice, healthy thing to do when you're testing. And it did not spiral out of control, as you said. So that was for me the real breaking point, right? Like, yeah, well, do we survive this? Yes, nice. Then we can move ahead and.
Well, that's awesome.
So what would you say? I mean, we mentioned the Command and Conquer on the Phantasmaclasm already, but is that your favorite moment from London, or is there another one that kind of sticks out to you?
There are so many. Like, when you win a tournament, the weekend is just special, right? And there's a lot of little tiny details that are very, very nice. I would say that I was, for like half an hour, I thought I was dead during the top 8 game. I was just playing it out for the camera, right? Like, yeah, we're just throwing some cards in here. We tested the matchup the night before, and we arrived at the conclusion that I was only losing if Prism played a turn 1 or turn 0 library. And they did get the turn 1 library, and I was like, okay. So, when I finished that game, and I had like all of my friends were there watching and everything, and I was able to like discharge all of the emotion from being half an hour there thinking I was dead, thinking I could climb a little bit back, like, inches away from the victory. It was a fantastic moment, but there were so many. I had so much fun with the casters. We went to have dinner to the same place 3 times with a random like pizza / I don't know what place, and we ended up taking a photo with the guy at the restaurant and everything. So there's like so many silly memories and things, and you have to cherish all of those. Not only like, yeah, I drew the correct card from the top at this point. So yeah, it was a very special weekend all around.
And that's what's great about it. You got to enjoy all aspects of it, have a great time. Really, that's why the tagline is "Play the game, see the world," because there's so much to have fun with all these tournaments. I love hearing that. So I guess you did talk about getting swayed off of New into Enigma, but at a lot of other major tournaments, you bring kind of off-the-wall picks pretty often. What comes to mind is like Rhinar at LA or Riptide at Amsterdam, I'm pretty sure. What kind of drives you to taking these kind of off-meta picks, if you will, to these major tournaments?
It's the fact I kind of dislike playing aggro decks. Okay, that would be the baseline of this whole concept. If I am able to, I would like to avoid those. It kind of feels like most of the time, if I'm playing, I don't know, Aurora or Syndra, I don't have as much room to outsmart, outplay my opponent as I do with other decks. I kind of feel like with aggro decks, I don't have as many options, right? And to be honest, I don't feel as happy playing them, which is, to be honest, is something valid when you're choosing a deck, right? If you're having more fun with one than the other, that's pretty cool. So sometimes we do have like a premium aggro deck in a format like Sen was in Amsterdam or KO was in LA, and I have to get creative. Like I need to try and discover something. Sometimes it is a good idea, like Riptide. Sometimes it is a bad idea, like Reiner. We are not always getting there. So the Reiner thing was that I did expect a lot of people to bring Dromai to counter KO, right? Dromai was very good against KO on our testing, and I was like, yeah, I will be one step ahead of the metagame, and I will bring Reiner and destroy the Dromais, and I had like a very good game plan into Dromai, and ended up facing none of them in the tournament, because turns out people did not bring Dromai at all. I ended up doing pretty well, because I got paired into random like fatigue decks and things like that during some of the rounds, and I'm like, yeah, okay, my deck is good into that. And I could also play some games into KO, which the matchup was pretty close. But yeah, to be honest, I would not register. If I went back in time, I would not register Reiner for that tournament. But the Riptide thing was very good. Very good. It was a very good answer to... It was not my idea, it was an idea from another Spanish community member, Carlos Carrera. And yeah, I saw him play the matchup a few times, and I'm like, yeah, Riptide is such a city deck. And he was winning. I'm like, wait a minute. How many defense reactions are you playing? And he was like, 30. I'm like, Can you show me the deck list? Yeah, it was the definitive mid-range deck, 30 defense reactions, 30 attack actions. Perfect. But yeah, it was something. Sometimes you need to get creative, as I was saying, and you have like those unexplored heroes, and you can surprise people. Kind of what happened with Usuri at the same tournament, right? When Soma won with her. Was Usuri the best choice? Maybe not. Maybe if you like take into account the deck and the matches, but people were not prepared against it. He had a very polished deck list. He had some very good game plans into the most represented heroes, and he ended up winning the whole thing, right? And I believe there's some merit into surprising people. One of the things that distinguish Flesh and Blood from the other games that I have played in the past is the amount of people playing it and the amount of discussion and exploration that goes into that. So I was able to surprise people in other games much often. And Flesh and Blood does not always offer that alternative. So sometimes you're prepping for a big tournament and you see that that option that is looking you from the corner of the room. You're looking the deck, right? And sometimes you need to take the risk. I'm not saying that always picking off meta heroes is a good choice. Sometimes they are not viable. On this whole meta game that we have had for the last 7 months, which has almost been the same, I don't think any of meta heroes could be played. The combination of a very good aggro deck, Verdan's Gravy, was a little bit too much for other decks to properly get into that. Like, Victor would have been a very good choice. We were talking about Victor earlier. Victor would have been a very good choice, but then the combination of the three of them, like, you could beat 2 of them, right? But never all 3 on the same deck list. So I believe this kind of triangle metagame protected itself a little bit too well, and that's why we are getting some changes on the banner restricted.
Best guest we've ever had. Best guest we've ever had. That's what I'm talking about. Victor mentioned, and it wasn't me for once. That's what I'm talking about.
Victor's sweet.
We talked about that before, where I think that meta right after Tipple got banned and Gravies hadn't figured out how to build the deck again, that playing Victor was a really probably good pick for a lot of those tournaments at like 2-week period, because you could have strong game plans into those decks before Gravy came back online.
My deck's good for 2 weeks, boys. We're in
it. Listen, you laugh, but Sam's right, and we have talked about this before. There was like a 1.5 week to a 2-week window where you could like just snipe tournaments with Victor, and nobody realized it till afterwards. Or I take that back. I think one Victor top 8'd something.
Yeah.
I think there was a Victor.
There was the one that won the Battle Hard.
Yeah, there was a Battle Hard where you pack perfect. Yeah.
Because I remember he threw like a pack perfect for like 20 at a Florian and like milled half his deck and did 12 damage to him.
Yeah, no.
I mean, like 6 mites, just thunk.
It's great. You love to see that kind of stuff. It's funny how now that's considered like standard Victor play. But I remember like watching that Battle Hard, and that was the first time we really saw Clash of Bravado. That was the first time we really saw Peck Perfect like make its way onto the stage. Before that, everybody was calling Mastery Pack Gravy a meme and stuff like that. And so then like we start to see like some real stuff come out of that.
To be honest, they are not completely mistaken, right?
No, not at all. I am not sitting here defending Mastery Pack Guardian, okay? Like, let's make that clear for everybody watching at home.
Base of the Mountain was really good in...
that was very impactful.
At a Pro Tour. I mean, at Worlds, yeah.
To be honest, every time that they reveal Base of the Mountain, I'm like, maybe Guardian would have been better without Mastery Pack Guardian.
Can't help but feel that way too.
Oh, poor buddy. Hey, well, I have some good news for you, Zach. There's a B&R on Monday, so you might be able to snipe an armory on
Dude.
Friday, while people
Dude, I'm
rebuild
going
gravy.
to Wednesday's armory so I can snipe faster. Okay, are you kidding me?
Ugh.
I mean, they are coming out with the next Mastery Pack, and they haven't announced it yet, but I got a sneaking suspicion it's going to be Warrior coming out. With, Hala on the horizon, I feel like, got a
Guardian
pretty
2.
good shot.
Guardian
Pack
2.
Guardian
Hope
2.
that
We're
they've,
going to
like-
get Dromai support this time around. Like,
Blue Spinal.
I mean, this one's coming out on time and scheduled, because, like, the Mastery Pack Guardian was supposed to come out while Aurora was still in the meta, and I felt like a lot of those, like, block cards and some of the tools might have actually tampered down Aurora's effect on the metagame, giving you a lot more options into that deck. So I think with them injecting it in a more targeted way, hopefully it has a much more, strong impact, and it isn't like another repeat of Mastery Pack. If they release another one of these and it's not good, oh, it's going to be really sad.
No, I agree. I'm very hopeful they do something fun with the next Mastery Pack that like brings another class up, like Warrior, like you're talking about, or like a different class that I feel like struggles on some level. Maybe not in every metagame, but on I feel like Warrior as a whole is one of those classes that kind of lacks a lot of stuff. So I'd like to see Warrior get some like upgrades and stuff like that.
Ranger. What are you guys talking
Yeah,
about?
no.
It has to be Ranger.
Yeah, awful.
I mean, I think that's a realistic one, because, like,
Yeah.
Riptide's been, just not that great for
Oh, Mastery
a long
Pack
time.
Riptide? Sure. It's not going to be Mastery Pack Marlin, Taylor. Take a breath over there, okay? Like,
I didn't say anything.
you were thinking it, though. I can see it.
They keep
Oh.
on giving him one card every set, and it's just not quite right. Let's give him a whole set this time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I always feel so bad for Riptide stands. Every time they reveal the Riptide card, I'm like, oh, that's like... we almost got there. What was it? Take the Bait should have been like +2, and then created the token. I was like, no, that would have been great. So close.
So close.
To
Is
be
there
fair,
another, like, set besides, like, Ranger or Warrior that even needs it? Like, maybe Wizard, just kind of, like, revitalize the class a little bit?
after the
even though
Advanced
they're
Storm
good-
Striders on Monday?
Yeah. 'Cause,
maybe.
like, if you get some, like, some actual hit to Verdance, and you don't give Acilio, like... Because I feel like almost all of Acilio's stuff is kind of encased in the Gone in a Flash combo. The only way you can make it worse if you gave it a more powerful Surge effect at cost 0. So if you did anything that costed 1 or greater, I feel like it wouldn't even impact the Acilio deck, and you can kind of like revitalize what is generic Wizard now that Kano's kind of rotating out, and they're probably going to bring in a new generic Wizard sometime soon.
Wouldn't mind, like, if they started doing, like, talent mastery packs.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Because, like, I think, like, Light needs some work. I mean, I know Prism's good, but, like, I'm just thinking about Bolton. And I don't, like, he's very hard to work with, like, generic Warrior cards. So it's like,
That's true.
That was a
That's true.
very unpopular take. I would love to see Mastery Pack Mechanologist.
we already
Right,
had
yeah.
it.
I knew.
Yeah, I
I
was
knew
like,
you
we
guys
already
were
had
gonna
it,
say
son.
that, but no. Like, I'm serious. Like, I would love to see Mastery Pack Mechanologist. Like, not Bright Lights.
I think in
Get
some
Tekla
ways,
up to, like, 40%.
Yeah. Even
yeah,
though-
see, like, I think that's what they're trying to do with Compendium, right? Like, they're giving a lot of cards to Teklo, it seems like. What was it? I'm pretty sure in the like, lore book they handed out at Worlds, it mentioned that James White said Teklo will be a complete hero once Compendium comes out, so...
I don't know what that means.
excited.
To be fair, though, the boost cards are really cool. I really like them.
The
I really like
headpiece
the
is,
direction.
like, very thought-provoking so far. I'm kind of interested. And the new blues are interesting, and they're, like... The thing that I think really missed the mark about Bright Lights is they took the identity of Dash IE and split it into 3 different heroes. When, in fact, what made Dash IE special is that you were those 3 heroes in one. So, I think Dash IO is an awesome deck. It's really cool. It does a lot of very skill-testing things. It's an awesome deck. The other 2 have, like, completely missed the mark, especially with High Octane being banned, and Max has, like, virtually no identity now. Hit the Gas really doesn't replace it. So, giving Teklo the autonomy to switch between boost and defense and maybe giving Max a little bit more just overall juice to make it to the mechanoid so he can play that, either play the mech or play full boost, would give you that feel of Dash IE all over again. And I don't think that they're very far away with what we've seen now.
You sold me. I was already in, but now I'm in even more.
Really, yeah, you needed
That's
the
what I'm
convincing.
saying. I wasn't on board before.
All right. Well, I'll take this back on track again. Back into what we're actually talking about. Well, you said that you've been traveling the world way too much this year, and cut back a little bit. But let's focus on, like, what's the positive stuff? What's your favorite location you've been to this year? Where's been, like, the most fun?
I have had fun in almost all of them. I really enjoyed traveling to Prague.
Okay.
Really nice beer, really nice food, very beautiful place to visit. Germany was also very cool. I have never been to Germany before, and being able to finally be in the country was surprising. Germans are not as people paint them to be. They're not as strict as they paint to be. I had a lot of fun in there. But yeah, I always try to enjoy these trips to the fullest. Thankfully, so I'm always traveling with my friends, so that makes it much easier, right? And yeah, this year has been very cool on traveling around. Singapore was also like a very different experience. I cannot say that I did enjoy the place too much. It was way too different to my liking, to some things that I'm used to. But it was like a really, really good experience. Way too hot though. Way too hot. And I do live in Spain, but that kind of like moist hot that makes you sweat. Like no.
Very humid while we were there. It was
yeah.
It was very hot. God.
But yeah, they had a lot of fun traveling this year, and I'm really looking forward towards Pro Tour Yokohama next year. I'm already making travel preparations as of right now with my friends. So this time I'm traveling with a full group of non-Flesh and Blood players. So maybe my testing, because it kind of lines up with festivities in Spain, like a week that we have of holidays here. And they can use those holidays and some like days of work to visit Japan, and we're like trying to engineer how we get like the most out of those days. So probably not as well prepared for this tournament, but I will have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Hell yeah.
You've already won enough. It's okay to have a good time when you go to these things, okay?
So I guess you still test quite a bit with the Sunflower Samurais, and it's not like stopped now that you've been with Team Armory for a little bit.
Okay, so my only kind of demand is that the right word, to join the team was the fact that I could still test 100% with the Sunflower Samurais and still like carry the Sunflower Samurai staff and still like be 100% still be like a Sunflower Samurai and kind of outsource and and test a little bit with these other people. So yeah, always a Sunflower Samurai heart. The team by itself is not a very competitive one. Okay, we are just friends. We were friends before Flesh and Blood existed. And we're just friends that did create a team together, and hopefully we're doing well. We have some very strong players in there, because we were strong players in other games. It's not only like me doing well on that team, and of course 100% of the time when you're doing well at events, it also means that you have a strong team behind you that helps you get to those good results, right? Either in deck building, preparing ideas, whatever, right? So those guys are the best. Like they are 100% the best and the worst. Like, both at the same time. I do have a lot of fun with them. So yeah, I will always 100% still be a Sunflower Samurai, because it is not a thing of a team or like getting good results or whatever. Those are my friends. Like people I spend the whole day on Discord playing, I don't know, TFTs or random games or whatever the hell we are doing this Christmas. I don't know which game, which multiplayer game is coming out this Christmas, but we will fall in one of those. So yeah, it's impossible. It's actually impossible to prepare me for these people. Like I am talking, I will end this call and probably go back to them and, and talk. So yeah, I'm still 100% Sunflower Samurai, and when the whole Super Armory thing, if I ever leave the team or travel less, as I said, I'm probably traveling way less this year. I will still be representing the Sunflower colors.
Awesome.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess my personal question for you is, how come you never joined them for their podcast?
No. I'm there like half of the time, maybe. Yeah, so we have rotating. Like I'm never on the OBS, so I'm never like the one hosting the stream on the podcast. But yeah, I'm there like maybe half the time. We have like rotating members. I promise you, if you look at the past, I'm there.
Okay.
They don't need to hear this. They don't need to hear this though. So probably we all. It's fine. But yeah, we are doing the podcast in Spanish. Our only problem is the fact that when you are like 2 years deep on making a podcast, and you guys might know a lot more than us at doing like a lengthy podcast and not dropping it every other Thursday as we do. Things get rather stale, and it is very difficult to keep the format fresh and everything. So sometimes we do hit like this kind of, okay, we need to stop for a month periods.
Yeah. That's something that we always do, is we always incorporate new players that we want to talk to or hang out with and just chat with them and see what they're doing, and that's just a great way that we keep it fresh outside of just us three.
And it does work. You have some very good choices, especially this episode. But yeah, the fact that the only problem that we have is that the Spanish community is very small. The game has some trouble growing in Spain. Of course, the end of the locally side product was a little bit rough for us, and right now I believe it has been like 3 years in a row where we have had like One Piece, Star Wars Unlimited, and Riftbound come out and grab a lot of players' attention. So it's very difficult to get new people into the game, and those games are also siphoning some people out, or at least part of their time, which is fine, of course. It all boils down to having fun. This is a hobby, right?
Exactly.
And yeah, it kind of means that most of the time there's like 10 people watching our podcast. So it's more like something that we're trying to give the community more than like actual useful info that we're releasing in there.
That's fair. I do like listening from time to time.
Thank you so much.
So one thing I want to mention, and this is going to be completely random, is I used to play back in college Legend of the Five Rings. And I know you have a little history there. And that's kind of like, I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I played, I'm going to say like casually a little bit, for maybe 6 months with like guys from college and everything. And if I remember correctly, did you play on, like, I just want to make sure my memory's still good. Did you play on stream in like 19?
Yes.
At like a world champ? Yeah, okay. I was making sure that was okay. Sorry, that's like a crazy callback. But like,
no, it is very good. I did play both on 2018 and 2019 World Championships top 8 on Legend of the Five Rings. Yeah.
Okay.
On the LCG.
Sure.
I have played both the TCG 20 years ago. As I said, I'm getting old and I'm not good at dealing with this. So we will not talk about the older game, but the LCG 2018? Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about crazy.
I was
just making sure that like I remember that correctly. I was like, I recognize it. It's like a little different last name, but like I recognize it.
That game was insanely good, and at the same time, insanely hard to maintain alive because it was way too hard. It did function better as a board game than as a card game, and the whole LCG kind of idea is
Yeah.
making waters, especially on the economics side of the spectrum.
Okay. So, what is your favorite part of Flesh and Blood?
Yeah,
For
probably.
me, like the game by itself, right? Like the rules and everything, how
No,
we
no.
play.
Your
Anything
experience.
about it.
Anything about it. You can answer it any way you interpret the question.
If we're talking about the game by itself, right? The thing that drove me into Flesh and Blood was the amount of options that we had. Like I felt that you have just mentioned Legend of the Fire Rings. Legend of the Fire Rings was a game where you had like a ton of decisions, probably way too much, and that's what killed the game. But it felt very different from playing, I don't know, Magic the Gathering, where most of the time, once you knew how to pilot your deck and you have already done your work on deck building, most games went on rails, right? This is the correct choice at this point. There's no discussing that this is the correct choice and then this is the correct choice, right? And so on. And Flesh and Blood felt like it had a lot of decision points during a single turn, right? You drew your 4-card hand and then you have like this option of blocking, not blocking, bluffing, waiting for blocks on the second attack because it might have some disruption, but maybe you're like losing points of value because they will not attack you for 6. And it had a lot of decisions, and I was very drawn into it by that, and I still think the game has that in it. We just have been upping the power level of the game so much that sometimes, even if you are making all of your very good micro decisions correctly, you still lose or you still win, even if you like miss some of those. It still has a lot of depth into it. But my favorite part about this game is the people that are playing in it. It's 100%. As I said, I was playing on very minor communities, like card games that did not have that much people and did not have any cash prizes. So I was a little bit afraid because I knew the reputation card gamers had when there was like some big tournaments with money or whatever. And I was pretty afraid of what I could probably, the people that I would probably meet playing a game like this. And it has been an absolute pleasure. People have been so kind on this game. I have met so many great friends from all the globe at this point. I have had so much fun, and it's unbelievable to me because I have allowed my opponents to concede game losing moves on tier 4s. I have people do the same to me, so it's not only that the community is like very good in itself, and I don't know how to properly say this, but they don't feel like they are doing this just to get some money or get some results. They do this because they enjoy what we are playing, and it kind of feels like this community is very close, like very night tight, and that's the fact that kept me in the game even during this. Because there have been some spots during the history of these games where our metagame has not been the best, or I have been doing very bad, and I thought about like maybe I should drop this game, maybe I should get back to studying, which is what I should be doing, but I'm not doing because I'm playing way too much card games. And like this kind of happens, and it is the people that keep me getting back in this. I'm always having a blast on any international event when we all gather in a tier 4 or whatever. Man, those are incredible. So yeah, it's the people. I also really appreciate LSS and all of the folks working there, because it really makes a difference from other companies that I have had to like deal with in the past. But I would say it's the community, 100%. It's insane, like how welcoming people were. Even when I did not win anything at the very start, it was very cool.
Hey, buddy, I haven't been winning things from the very start too. I get it.
We're just like him.
Gosh.
So, if you could request one thing from LSS for this next year, what would it be?
I said that I love them, and take this before I say anything else, okay? I personally know and love them. It's gotta be upping the communication game at this point. I believe we need more time to properly prepare any trips. Just we were like doing this recording this together, and I did put a tweet because there's this world premiere in London in February, and I was yesterday night I was like, should I like buy a ticket plane and go there? And then I'm like, but will we know like the cards for Compendium of Wrath with enough like time to prepare anything? Will I have to travel like with lots of bags and cards and I was like thinking about all of the info that we are missing on this event, and it was making me not wanting to properly register to play it, and it is insane because I love world premieres and I have one so close to my to my home, right? So yeah, like and James White just answered that we will in fact have all of the information on every single card that we can play on the constructed portion of the event prior to it. So that's very good. Why didn't we know this when the tournament was announced, right? This kind of situations, I do think that having better information and a better insight on what LSS is doing is helping a lot. You guys mentioned the dev talks. I love those, and I love using those as a mean to properly convey to your player base what you're thinking or what you're trying to do, right? And I just want LSS to keep improving on that aspect, because I believe they are doing very well on designing everything that is not named Guardian at this point, and so I'm very happy with everything else that they are doing. I'm happy with how they are like, exploring different formats, innovating on different decks. But yeah, so it's the communication for me. If they get that solved out, this game, not solved out, they are doing good, but a little bit better. We can always, life is good, but it could be better, right? So that's for me the point where they could improve the most.
I think that's been a pain point for a lot of people. You know, is it's like, oh, we don't know exactly when this is, or we don't know what's going to be here, or how this is going to work out. Like, event scheduling and the timing being more clear, I feel like could go a long way for a lot of people, you know, especially people, like, you know, who are traveling all over the world to try and make it to these big events. Like, it'd go a long way in helping everybody out.
I completely agree, especially, like, with the world premiere being constructed. That's like it. Like, I have to know what I'm like need to bring for my decks.
Yeah.
Do I bring Azalea? Do I bring KO? I don't want to bring 8 of my decks and be like, oh, I guess we'll figure out there. It's like, because like I want to enjoy the world premiere Friday before I go to the calling on Saturday. I don't want to like get done with the world premiere and then go straight to my hotel and read every single card 6 times to make sure I know what I'm doing, because I got to go win calling. So yeah, I completely agree.
We got a few podcast questions here from the community, so we'll let it off with one of your favorites, I'm sure. Do you think you'll ever go back to playing Rhinar competitively? Did the Armory deck move the needle enough for you?
Have you guys tested the Armory deck?
I have tested a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not very high on the whole beaches mechanic, so I'm down to play. I think Rhinar as a deck does something that is very unique. Right, the problem with all of the Welcome to Ratha heroes, for me, is that they are just number heroes at the end. Alright? Katsu, you know how much damage he can like get if he gets to activate his ability and do the combo thing. Okay, Bravo is not there. We can forget about him. And then you have the Orinthia, which is another numbers deck. So the only one that currently does something completely unique to the game, I believe, is the mass intimidating at some point. So I don't think Rhinar, I believe he's actually the most powerful of the bunch. The problem is that we haven't had a format where the premium deck cannot just ignore him and kill him, right? Because if you go there and intimidate 3 cards, Syndra will be no, don't intimidate me 3 cards, man. What if I cannot block with them, right? So your whole game premise is based upon the fact that your opponent does want to block against you, which not always happens. And when we get into a metagame where every deck, like every top deck, wants to block, I do think Griner will be a fine deck. He has access to Bloodrush Bellow with double claw, man. That's that's something at least.
Sal's got us with the host of Breakpoint's audition to be the Sunflower Samurai's official hype man. Who gets the job? And you know, I feel like I could do a pretty good job. I got a pretty good, stage voice. I can do the whole "Let's get ready to rumble." I don't want to scream too loud in the mic, but
Silly question. I like that one.
I guess it has to be the one that shouts the loudest of the bunch, right? It has to be. We're looking for the energy, right? We already have a lot of like big bearded people on our team. So.
Yeah. Pop it right in.
This one, who do you want to see being the best deck next meta?
Oof. That's a good one. If I could just, because there are some things that are not obvious. Like, I could say Teklobossen, but we don't want to be in a metagame where Teklobossen is the best deck.
Oh no, please no.
So, which deck being the best deck would be fun? I guess it has to be something mid-rangey. So decks have an option.
Rhinar. It's perfect.
I would say something maybe along the lines of Kasai?
Okay.
That's a good pick.
Okay,
Kasai, something like that.
I like that.
I love
I think
Kasai.
that would make for
I saw you
an
brought that to
interesting,
Worlds.
an interesting like meta like A tier like S tier style deck because it has counterplay. Like you can play into it, but she also keeps like Syndra and certain other decks in check. So I think it's a great pick. I think that'd be a very fun meta.
Yeah, Kasai. I think like if they do hit the top 3, Kasai is in my short list of decks to like really dive into. If that's like the way they go about it on the ban restricted.
Where's Marlin at on your list? I just need to know.
Right below Dash IE. Yeah. Yeah, process that one, Taylor. All right, that'll shut him up for a minute. That'll shut him up for a minute.
That was awesome.
I think that's all the fun questions we have for this week.
Yeah.
We've loved having you on, Pablo. Thank you very much for joining us. For everyone listening at home, can you give us where to find you and maybe where to find the Sunflower Samurais so that they can keep following you?
Oh, if you want to find me, the easiest way to do that is on Twitter, X, whatever it is called now. And we also have an account for the team. And we are currently working on a new webpage for the team. I didn't know that I was going to say this here, but we are currently working on a new page from the team. It will have a lot of like little details and stuff. It will be very fun to watch. But I don't know if I will do the whole work and translate the whole web, which I will probably do at this point because I'm talking about it here. What is the point if not? but yeah. Thank you so much for having me here. I have had a blast with all you, and can't wait to see you all in tournaments. I don't know. You guys tell me where I will see all of you.
I will definitely be in Yokohama. So
that's a good one.
Yeah, it'll be a Pro Tour Vegas for sure. I imagine if you're coming out for all the Pro Tours, we'll see you there. And then I'm hitting a bunch of North American callings. I don't know. I mean, Taylor's hitting, I think, a lot of the same ones as well. So if you're coming to any of those, we'll probably see you there.
It kind of depends on when they are, where they are, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's awesome having you all. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, man.